The delegate from Buckingham, Delegate Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a point of personal privilege.
The delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, our job is not about symbolism, it's about substance. C.S. Lewis said, and Gandhi echoed him, that man cannot be made good by law. But it seems that we believe otherwise. California has a way more progressive minimum wage than Virginia, and yet they also have worse poverty and homelessness. March 7th, not too long ago, Mr. Speaker, the Washington Post warned that we cannot keep up with energy demands in Virginia, that we need the equivalent of 2 full-size nuclear reactors just to avoid the very brownouts and blackouts that California suffers on a regular basis. And yet we cling stubbornly to electric car mandates that tie us to that same state, California, that hasten our demise. And when, not if, these blackouts and brownouts occur, the people who die in the sweltering summer heat will be amongst the most vulnerable of us. COVID crushed our kids' educational attainment. And yet instead of focusing on fixing that generational challenge, Mr. Speaker, we passed bills to allow 4th grade boys and girls to learn about menstruation, to allow 9th graders to learn their recourses under Title IX in case they're sexually harassed by the 4th grade boys that learned about menstruation, and to make sure that our PE teachers teach our kids about hazing. I could keep going. The Affordable Care Act, for example, has doubled the cost of health care. But hey, good symbolism. This session, we've seen dozens of bills that attacked our Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. We've seen a waiting period that the 4th Federal Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled is unconstitutional, but hey, we passed it because, you know, symbolism over substance. We've seen a weapons ban that the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals from, wait, you guessed it, California just overruled, but wait, we passed it, symbolism over substance. We've seen age restrictions that courts in the Commonwealth of Virginia within the last year have ruled are unconstitutional, but wait, we passed them because symbolism over substance. Meanwhile, this General Assembly, at least this chamber, passed a bill that would make 500 lethal doses of fentanyl, at the discretion of the prosecutor, a misdemeanor. Now wait for it. There will be not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 Virginians whose lives are taken this calendar year by drug overdoses for every one killed in a firearms homicide. And don't go, but wait, you're not counting firearms suicide, because this chamber just took that crime off the books. Sometimes, Mr. Speaker, policy failures come just a little bit close to home. You see, yesterday morning, there was a fatal shooting. Tragedy, by any account. And it wasn't just a shooting that was illegal because it was a murder of another human being. It was a shooting that was illegal because it was on Capitol Square, and I quote, or in the surrounding area, in a gun-free zone. But wait, it wasn't just illegal because it was a shooting in a gun-free zone that was Capitol Square. It was illegal because it was a shooting in a gun-free zone that was also in or around Richmond City Hall. That's 2 gun-free zones. But wait, it was also a shooting that was in or around VCU Medical Center. That's 3 gun-free zones. But wait, it was at a GRTC bus stop, which is also, wait, a gun-free zone. And people that stay in the bus stops often do things like ride on buses, and GRTC buses are gun-free zones. So that's 5 or 6 crimes committed, and when they catch the person who snatched the very life from another human being in whom God placed value, will the prosecutor prosecute them under all these charges? I don't know, but we'll sure make sure this session that they get as many sentencing credits as they can, because we don't want them to serve any more time than absolutely necessary. So while we talk through these things and pass laws that are meaningless, we give jingoism and dogma to win elections. We vilify our colleagues across the aisle with phrases like, they don't care about X, or you can't talk about this unless you're Y, or put up or shut up. Well, these playground talking points might win votes, but they don't save lives. They don't help Virginians. They don't expand or defend freedom. They don't expand opportunity. They don't protect the fruits of the labor of the working Virginians who we serve. They are hollow, empty symbolism. And Mr. Speaker, our job is not symbolism, it is substance. I yield.